Good morning and welcome to Science Week 2022. People all over Great Britain are this week celebrating science and its achievements and contribution to our lives. But what is science? In the past, people believed in magic, and magic was anything they didn't understand. It could be lightning. Why does lightning flash in the sky at night? Why does it rain? Why do some people get ill and some people get better? And why do mushrooms appear from nowhere and create fairy rings in the grass? It might be why or how can an egg get through the narrow neck of a conical flask like this? I've got an ordinary egg here and we've hard-boiled it and peeled it. So we've got a hard-boiled egg. There's my conical flask and it won't go in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to strike a match. There we are, there's your match. And I'm just going to get it burning a little bit. And then I'm going to pop it in my flask. Now watch that egg. There we are. Oh, that's a tight squeeze. Pop. What happened? Indeed, what happened? Was it magic or was it something else? I've got an ordinary egg. Oh, move that on. Is Mrs. Wilson secretly a magician or does she know something that we don't? It was really weird to see that egg squeeze itself through the neck of the flask. And maybe at the end, I'll explain how that happened. So today, we believe in science, and science can explain a lot of things about the world, like how things grow, how flowers suck the water up through the stem and create flowers or fruit and vegetables. How electricity works. We've only had electricity for about 100 years. So what did people do before that? How did they see in the dark? And we know that the Earth is round because we have sent astronauts up into space and they've taken pictures to show that the Earth is round. But for hundreds of years, people thought the world was flat. So how does the solar system work? Science has also explained that there are lots of other planets in the solar system. We're not the only ones. And maybe one day they might find out that there's other life on other planets too. Science has also given us lots of technology that makes our lives a lot easier. So we've got mobile phones, which enable us to communicate with each other, not just in the same room or the same town or the same country, but across the world. We also have cars. So most of you will have travelled to school in a car or taxi. And that's given to us by the wonders of science. And we also have computers to enable us to do online learning and lots of other fun stuff too. So science has created lots of things that help to make our life easier. We often think of scientists as teenagers, as old men, but teenagers can be scientists too. And in your science lessons, we hope that you have a go at thinking about science and finding out how the world works. So what would the world be like without scientists? Scientists help to explain how we can keep healthy, how exercise keeps us healthy, and why eating fruit and vegetables might be better than eating McDonald's every day. They've given us machines that can dig foundations for houses and schools and lots of other buildings too. They help us preserve food and transport us across the world in aeroplanes. And that still seems a bit magical to me. Unfortunately, they've also helped us to create lots of weapons that mean that we can also kill other people more efficiently, sadly. So now's the time for you to do a little bit of thinking about science. Can you name 3 things that scientists have made that you use in your free time? There's some pictures here to help you, and tutors might want to pause the video now so that you can think about it. You might be able to come up with some other things as well, in addition to the pictures. So what does a doctor use to listen to your lungs? Does he use a radio, a stethoscope, or headphones? Which one would be most effective? And can you explain why? Again, your tutor might want to pause the video so you can discuss this. What did people use before scientists invented each of these? A digger, a light bulb, ovens that we use to cook, and washing machines. So people had to use their ingenuity and hard muscles. They used muscles and a spade to dig holes. They might have roasted animals over a pit. And they used candles to give them light at night. And also they had to wash things by hand. So a lot of time was taken up with these activities. And they certainly had a lot less leisure time. Fortunately, due to the wonders of science, we can keep food fresh for much longer. Food would often go off very quickly in the past, before we had tin cans. So which of these help to keep food fresh? Which one would keep food fresh for longest? And finally, do you know what sort of material is needed to make each item? So we've got a can, a fridge, a freezer, and a shopping bag. So scientists have made our lives a lot easier, but they're also helping us to save the planet, because all this technology can sometimes harm the planet that supports us, that we live on. So scientists are helping us to save the planet by helping us to learn about recycling, how we can reuse all these materials and things that we've created and create new things. They're helping us to create more energy with the solar panels. So we spent a little bit of time thinking about how science helps us, and you might want to think about that as you go about your daily life. How many different ways do scientists help you in your life? But also remember to try and save the planet by turning off electrical items when you're not using them, and saving electricity, as well as recycling. What else can you do to help save the planet? I'll leave you on that note. Oh, and how did the egg get through that narrow neck in the flask? Well, when you put the match in, when Mrs. Wilson put the match in the flask, it changed the air pressure, and the air pressure pushed the egg inside the flask. But there's something you can tell your parents. Right, have a good day. See you next week.